Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Timing pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. I'm the host, Braylon Edwards.
He's back.
I'm back. In the words of Michael Jordan in 1995, I'm back. And sitting there to my left, I guess that would make you Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman.
You can insult me in a lot of different ways.
Champions.
Don't call me Scottie Pippen.
Six-time champ, though.
I don't like him. Don't like the Bulls. Don't like any of that. It's
Okay,
okay.
Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
Stand on business. I love it.
That's fine.
The worm?
You can
The
do that.
worm.
If I called you Isaiah, could you call me?
He said
Joe
no
D?
bull.
There you go. I'll be Joe D.
All right. Yeah. I'll be John Mangelt before I'd be Scottie Pippen. That's an old poll way back in the day. I'll be Kevin Porter.
Would you be
way
Dickie
back in the
Simpkins?
day. I'd be Dickie Simpkins. That's fine. Somebody other than Scottie Pippen.
I was going to see how deep my bag can go. Charles Oakley, that's a good one.
I really liked Charles Oakley, believe it or not. I mean, I just thought he was I thought he was more of a Piston than he was a Bull or a Knick. That's how much I like Charles Oakley.
Growing up in the 80s and being a Pistons fan, as we welcome in Kool-Aid and Cam. Cam, I'm interested to see how your time off was because you're looking a little tan, so we'll get into that in a second. But if you grow up in Detroit or you grow up in New York, if you grow up anywhere that's a basketball town, you know that Charles Oakley means business.
Absolutely.
You know that everybody he played against was scared of him. Everybody he played with was also scared of him or feared him.
There were certain guys, right?
100%.
So who else? Xavier McDaniel was one of
The
those.
X-Man. I didn't even say.
He looked like a psychotic individual.
Yeah.
Right?
Anthony Mason.
Okay. Agreed.
Anthony Mason for sure. Ben Wallace. Like, not in a crazy way, but Ben Wallace, no one messed with Ben Wallace.
Yeah, a little bit later on in Ben Wallace, yeah.
To your point, back in that time.
I would say Jeff Ruland, Rick Mahorn, and I would say Wes Unseld and Elvin
you going
Hayes.
to the Washington Bullets.
Yeah, I'm
To
going
the
way
Bullets
back in the
on
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a tough dude. Wes Unseld was a phenomenal rebounder. One of the greatest rebounders in the history of the game.
Yeah, like the perfect throw.
He did have it looked nice. I don't know if he used the pick all the time, but it sure looked like
a little flat throw.
little fat foot. Yeah.
No, but
he had a look to him, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
It was an interesting look. Charles Oakley was one of the first people I met when I got drafted to the Cleveland Browns. He's from Cleveland.
Oh, I didn't know
Born
that.
and raised.
Yeah.
I saw him at a steakhouse that everybody frequents there.
Okay.
He said, "Hey man, it's my city. You need anything, man, you let me know."
It's my
So
city.
fast forward, it's like 2 years later. I was in New York and saw Charles Oakley at an event.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Yeah, man, I was talking to my partner, such and such." He said, "Man, you blah blah blah," and this said, "You got to blah blah blah." I said, "Oh damn, you really are tapped into the city." Like, he knew everything that was going on with me. He was talking about one of his homeboys that saw me in the space, in the venue, who I was with, what was going on. I was like,
Got to be careful now.
yeah,
Right.
luckily I had Chuck, but man, good to see. Cam, you back. You're in the
Yo.
building, man. You've escaped us for a week excursion, man. Talk about a
What
little
up,
bit.
dog? Oh, man, it was beautiful down on that sunny peninsula there. Full of life, growing grass, palm trees, hibiscus busting out. 4 afternoons at the pool. And, yeah, it was awesome.
Life is good, right?
Yeah.
Life was good.
Did you-
you did it with your brothers, right?
Well, I supported one of my brothers there. He
Yeah.
was experiencing a loss anniversary, and I just
Yeah.
want to be there for comfort and
Love that. Yeah.
moral support.
Good man.
In lieu of the moral support, did you provide any moral support? Were there women around? Did you guys get a chance to entertain some young ladies on this trip?
Hey,
He's gonna plead the fifth right
hey,
there.
You know what I-
he said,
A like 5 times.
these lips, though, these lips
You
are
know what?
serious.
I'll leave you alone. I talk to a married man. Kool-Aid, what's up, brother? How you
get
doing
me in
over there,
trouble.
Kool-Aid?
I'm doing good, bro. Good to have you back as well, man.
Yeah,
I
welcome
actually,
back, Bray.
I'm glad to be back.
yeah, I was gonna
man.
say I actually
Especially
ran
after
into
Pistons won
somebody.
again.
Yeah, talk about the Pistons. I ran
100%.
into somebody last night, a celebrity. I was like, yo, can I please get your picture, man?
Braylon was with you?
Shout out to
Hey.
Cam. Sweet
What up,
Potatoes in the
dog?
building.
Hey,
Shout out.
Sweet potato. Sweet potato.
I see Cam did not go home and change at all. So.
I was game ready.
Shout out,
ready.
he was getting ready.
Yeah.
That's
I love it. Good to
fantastic.
see
Hey,
guys
you know,
link
he
up
was
though, man.
converting
It's a big
a
one.
new Pistons fan, man. So shout out to Cam last night.
Yep.
That's
He's
dope.
originally a Bucks fan. He's coming over from Milwaukee, Wisconsin area there, and
Okay.
Who's your favorite Milwaukee Buck
ever?
ever?
Milwaukee
Ooh,
Buck ever.
I got two good ones.
Yeah, I got two good ones too.
Ooh, mine would be better.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. I'm catch you off guard.
I'd have to say probably Oscar Robertson.
Oscar Robertson.
Ooh, the big
Well,
O.
that's probably the right answer for most
Big
people in
O.
Milwaukee. Yeah.
And then more recently, it's got to be Giannis.
Okay. Go ahead.
What you got, Bray?
Now, for all my Michigan fans, you know, they may not like it because I'm going to somebody in the Big Ten that didn't go to Michigan, but his son did. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the big dog, Glenn Robinson.
Okay.
Like a little sleeper. One
like
of the
that.
first $100 million player. You know, neither here nor there. Yeah, I go Glenn Rob, and I want to say Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yep, that was
I
mine.
want to go Jesus Shuttlesworth
Yep.
because Ray Allen was a problem with the
Yep.
Bucks, man. That's old school Ray where he take you
Yeah,
off
he
your
was
dribble,
live.
get to the
Yeah.
rim, dunk on you, didn't care. Like Ray was nasty, man.
I'm
like
going,
no
I'm going
emotion
older.
sometimes.
I'm going older school than that.
I had a feeling, so that's why
I'm going with Sidney Moncrief,
I had a feeling.
and I really like Terry Cummings.
Ooh,
Terry
I
Cummings.
almost
out
said
of
Vin
DePaul.
Baker for him.
Yeah,
But
and Vin
Terry-
Baker. Yeah, that's
Terry
not a
Cummings
bad one
really
either.
good.
Vin Baker was tough.
Vin Baker
he
was
was
tough.
It was tough.
Well, I don't know
I'm
how
going
tough he
Ray
was,
Allen,
but he's a
though.
good player. I don't know how
Yeah,
tough
well,
he was.
tough-
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Tough as a
But Sidney Moncrief was tough. I like Sidney Moncrief.
Different era,
How about
boy.
Alvin Robertson, who's also a
Ooh,
Piston?
Ayo could fight.
Okay.
Hold on, didn't
He-
Shaq swing on Alvin Robertson?
He might have, but Alvin Robertson, I think, swung on Billy McKinney. I think that's a bigger problem.
He
when
swung on
was
Shaq too.
Okay.
It was
That
like
tells you
Shaq's
something.
first game. It was a preseason game in Orlando.
Yeah, but well, the
Detroit
problem is Billy
players.
McKinney was his boss, so
Yeah.
that's a little bit of an issue and got him out of here.
didn't
But
get the second.
I did think he was a very good defensive player and overall player. I remember when Detroit got him, I was like, yeah, this is big. So there's a few old school.
Yeah, the Bucks has Michael Red, if you like the left hand assassin.
Red.
Yeah,
Man.
Wisconsin. All
Left
right.
hand assassin back
All
in
right,
there.
not
Yeah,
bad.
we got some picks in there.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Not
Kool-Aid,
bad
you got
at
a
all.
favorite buck in honor of Cam?
He gonna say
Oh,
Chris
no.
Middleton because he used to play for the Pistons. Chris Middleton used to play for the Pistons.
Wrong Piston, Brandon Jennings. No, I'm just
Yeah, I was just
saying.
going to
Cool
say,
name.
what about Brandon Jennings?
But
Youngest 50-point.
it's Ray Allen for me. It was Ray Allen.
Jesus,
Like
man.
that guy, you talking about shooting from anywhere on the court. It didn't matter if he was covered, and you didn't want to give him even just a little bit of daylight at all.
Before
man.
Steph
It was
Curry,
Ray
was
Allen.
he the best shooter?
Yeah,
You know what? That's
Before
fair.
Steph Curry.
That's
Steph
fair.
Curry's a great shooter of all
at
time.
1,000%.
That's fair.
And
I think so. And you
Ray
think about
Allen,
the big shots
he
hit.
was.
Or Reggie Miller
Ray
or
Allen.
Larry Bird. Larry Bird was
See, Larry,
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Larry makes it different for me. I didn't get to see him play, but the
You
things
seen
that I
them-
got
you
to
seen-
see,
you
he
seen them
makes it
highlights.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and
That's some
people-
sick stuff.
People pooping their pants when they know he's in town at night and hear the stories.
Yeah.
It's tough to put anybody
It
against
is.
Larry Bird because I think in the shooting match he probably beat anybody. So he's one of the ones like you got to put over here somewhere. But Ray Allen was different.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
terms of how Ray played the
it's Ray.
game, Ray could. There weren't a lot of players that little kids could look up to and watch the game and see somebody that was technologically sound, played the game the right way. The fundamentals were executed perfectly, like the cognitive skills of the game. When people call it the basketball IQ, like basketball
His
IQ,
shot- his
his
shot was
shot
so
was through the
pure.
roof, man.
Pure.
You can tell that he put up shot after shot after shot.
Yeah.
He did it right. And oh, by the way, he can get on. I'm telling you, two dribble, take you to the hole, dunk on you. He can do all the highlight things as well.
He
had-
wasn't Jason Williams quick or Allen Iverson quick, but he was quick enough.
Fast twitch quick.
I think he's.
like Grant Hill quick.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
that
think
was
he was
fast.
one
Go.
I do think he was the best shooter, 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Because I think Bird was probably the best shooter in general. But I would say best 3-point shooter was Ray Allen before Steph Curry, who's in a different atmosphere. I mean, when you've got more 3-pointers made than free throws made in your career, and you're the all-time 3-point leader, there's something wacky about that. And he's just simply an amazing player. So, but a good win for the Pistons last night. Really
Yes,
excited for
sir.
them.
Pistons win
Anson said something
again.
yesterday that kind of made me go, well. He said this is a litmus test for the Pistons, and I thought, well, Detroit's already beaten them twice. So Detroit's beaten them 3 out of 4 times, right, this year. I didn't think it was a litmus test at all, but it did confirm to me and you and I were talking about this a little bit before the show. If there's a team that has to make a trade, I think it's the Wings more so than the Pistons. The Pistons, you could see, I mean, the Knicks, in case people don't know, they got the crap kicked out of them by Cooper Flagg in Dallas last night. So much so, it was double digits. It was double digits at the half, and people at Madison Square Garden were booing them off the floor. I think they've had it with Karl Anthony Towns. It sure seems like it. When he left the bench, he was getting a chorus of boos. With that said, Detroit looks like a team, the way they're structured right now, that could win the East. Right? I think so. I'm not sure the Red Wings could win the Atlantic or the East the way they are constructed. If they added a second-line defensive player, Dougie Hamilton, or added a legitimate scorer, Artemi Panarin, then you could see them maybe overtaking a team like Tampa or Carolina. Whereas Detroit Pistons, I think, are the team that everybody is chasing. Is that an unfair assessment, do you think?
No, I don't think it's unfair at all. You know, the Detroit Red Wings have the most points scored in the month of January, and they're doing their thing in the Atlantic Conference. However, you know, one bad night, you're back in 5th place.
Right.
You know, one bad
weekend.
One bad weekend. And that's how good that Atlantic division has been right now. But to your point, switching to the Pistons, it looks good.
It looks complete, doesn't it?
It does, but does it worry you that this is the K having a bad night?
I thought he had a good night. Not shooting, but 14 assists and no turnovers. I thought it was really good.
16 points is a tough night to have when you're an MVP candidate on a team like that. Like MVP candidates don't do 16 points, especially when you don't have another guy that can score you 28. So in him not getting so caught up in his own success scoring wise, that was success. We found 14 other ways to get guys involved. Him scoring 16 points, you can't do that as the number one option and really the only option in terms of big points.
Yeah, I don't know how much his hand is bothering him. I'll take the reports to heart and feel like he's playing through some things right now.
Yeah.
I love the decision-making. I've been one of those guys who have been a little disappointed with the turnovers on the year because I think he's third in the league in turnovers. Last night he didn't. Last night he treasured the ball. Last night Detroit did exactly what I would hope they would do.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was a main part of it. I don't. This is easy for me to say because I'm not the coach. I don't need him to be the leading scorer every time. I like how he plays the game. I like how he sees the floor. I thought a lot of his shots were good shots. They just didn't go in, right? And I think it was great that Jalen Duren played really well. I think it was great that Tobias Harris played really well. His defense on Jaylen Brown.
Duncan Robinson seems to be finding the shot.
Duncan Robinson was that hustle play to save it along the baseline, throw it out, then go to the opposite corner and hit the three. You could just feel that momentum or some of the oxygen for Boston gets sucked right out of them. I just don't know if we and we touched on this just a little bit yesterday. I don't know if you have to go all in for something, depending on what you have to give back. I think the Red Wings are at that point where they know they need a second line scorer. Yeah. They know they need a second pair defenseman with a Ben Sherrod. If you actually move sending Pellica down to the third line D, how much deeper and how much better you would be. A Dougie Hamilton at age 32 who makes $9 million, which is more than Mo Seider, would be a good puck-moving, right-handed shooting defenseman that they could really use. So really impressed with what the Pistons did, and it'll be interesting to see. Early March is when the trade deadline is for hockey and whether or not Steve Yzerman gets busy with it.
Kool-Aid, what did you see yesterday? You guys were at the game. You saw he ran into Cam. You guys saw the game. You saw for the point where they won by 1 point. It was against the Celtics and Jaylen Brown, who's been playing really good ball for this club this year in the absence of Jason Tatum.
So good.
1,000%. I mean, he was the media's number one vote getter as it relates to the All-Star game. Cade, the number one fan getter, at least in the East, that was player getter. What did you see? What do you think about this team as of right now?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I liked last night's win. I thought this was a character win of a different sort, not one where they necessarily played bad. I thought Cade could have shot better, but he did talk about that in the post-game press conference. He said he was facing coverages that he hadn't quite seen before. They were throwing what they call crowds at him, and we actually remarked about this. It was like they were lining up as an eye just to try and mess with the Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham pick and roll that they got going early. And he was like, after he noticed that, his whole mission at that point in time was take the shots that they give you, but make sure you find your guys. And where that can get the Pistons into trouble is we've seen these guys go cold. You look back at the playoffs last year when Malik Beasley and some of the shooters went cold, and I understand where you're coming from. You know, sometimes you want to see if he can be that guy that can kind of battle through that. And with Jaylen Brown, he's a guy who I think has proven a lot in the shadow or in the absence of Jason Tatum. He was seeing a lot of single coverages, which did allow him to be able to put up the point total. But you look at the shooting totals overall, I think he was about 11 for 27, 11 for 28. They made it tough on him last night. And so both of the guys, I thought they shot pretty bad, but they still had a pretty big impact on that game. Ultimately, both these teams get after it defensively.
Yeah, 100%.
That was what the name of the game was.
Yeah. And I'm going to listen to Shepard on that one and not make too much about the night or the last couple performances in terms of where he had an off night or he did go under the 20-point margin, maybe the hand or maybe what he's playing through, 1,000%. But this is where you got to find other ways to score, and those other ways are the free throw line. This is where it comes into play how bad the free throws the Pistons are. K's not necessarily the best. You guys know where I'm going.
Never
with
an
that.
excuse with that.
100%. This is something that you can work on. Like if you know, hey, look, tonight's my shot's not falling. Look, the best players, the ones that are in the MVP conversation year in and year out, they know how to get to that free throw line and provide points. So that would just be something to put in the back of the rear view, if you will.
Yeah, I like that. He did get to the line 10 times last night.
Okay.
Which
Yeah,
is
he
good.
and Jaylen Brown
went
10
8
apiece.
for 10. Yeah. So good for him. Good for the Pistons and another nice win. And a team that here's what I've started to do with the Pistons. I don't know if I'm the only one who does it or not. 5.5 game cushion on Boston now. New York stinks lately. I think they've lost 4 straight at home. Okay, they do. I mean, they've been really, really bad.
We're waiting for that to happen, and it goes back to who is their head coach and how did he get there? Mike Brown got there because they could not find a replacement for for Bogan when they fired him.
I said they overreacted.
Well, I didn't understand why they fired Tom Thibodeau. I really don't. I don't know
Best
what
coach
that
they've
team
had
didn't.
in some time,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
it makes no sense. But what
There's a lot of that going around.
it seems like it. You see the look?
It's a lot of that going around. You know what I'm saying? Coaches getting fired.
I have started to.
Welcome back, Braylon Edwards.
That was a really good look. I have started to measure the Pistons no longer against the Celtics and the Knicks or even the Raptors.
Against
Say it.
themselves?
Against Oklahoma City.
SGA and OKC.
So that's what I'm starting to do. And Oklahoma City is the better team. Okay, I mean they're 36-8. They got 16 wins. They're 20-2 at home, man. I mean they're a really good team. San Antonio's a really good team.
Yeah.
I am starting, and this is probably naive on my part, but even though you've been in a business for a long time, you can still look too far ahead. I'm looking at how they match up with those teams in the West. Now, I'm not saying that they're automatically going to the NBA Finals. I'm just tired of looking at Boston and New York, and I'm like, okay, I want to see how Detroit matches up with those teams.
How do they match up against OKC?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. You know, so am I alone in that regard? Am I an island?
You're not alone there.
Okay.
I've been saying it all year, and people have been like,
all year you've said this?
Listen, they've already made the playoffs, and I said that their next step has to be finding themselves in that Eastern Conference Finals. Some people believe that this East is wide open. Cade is taking a superstar-type leap. It's time. And now you have the team actually proving that they're the number one squad. Do you want to have that label that's been given to Cleveland? You know, hot in the regular season. Haven't been able to quite get it done during the playoffs.
I think this is different because Detroit's got a better coach. They've got a better leader. Let me ask you this. I hear that a lot, that it's wide open. I'm not always sure what people mean by that.
No, I thought
Is the West
Celtics
wide
gonna be
open?
tough.
Is the West wide open?
no.
So you think for sure it's OKC? You don't think San Antonio can beat them, even though they've beaten them 2 out of 3 this year?
No,
you don't think Denver
I
can beat
said
them?
I don't think the West is wide open.
Oh,
I think San Antonio has.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
San Antonio has. They put themselves on the map just as much as I do believe the Celtics amongst the East have proven they're not falling off just because Jason Tatum is out. I think the Spurs and the Celtics are 2 teams that have proven early on that they're going to be here in the end.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
real
don't
deal,
think either
guys.
conference is wide open, right? Okay,
No.
good. Okay, see, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So you think the West is closed, correct? OKC? And
No, I think there are 3. I'm not sure about Minnesota. I think there are 3 legitimate teams in the West. 3 legitimate teams who could win it all.
Yeah,
OKC, San Antonio, and Denver.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. In terms, the East is wide open. Like, the East is open, I believe. I think it's more open than the West. The West, I think, is closed. I think it's only one team. I think it's OKC.
Okay.
I think what San Antonio is doing in the regular season has, like Kool-Aid said, put them on the map, and they're playing amazing ball. They've won 3 out of 1 and all that good jazz, but they haven't played a 7-game series against OKC.
I didn't say the Jazz. I'm just kidding.
They haven't played. You're absolutely right. It's one day. I'm a little rusty, but no, they haven't played a 7-game series in the playoffs against the San Antonio. Against the OKC.
Yeah.
And then once you work to the Joker, Joker's got the Joker, but we saw what that looked like in the playoffs last year. It looked like him trying to coach everybody and trying to put everybody in the right positions, and then just not having enough.
Right.
So I think for OKC, they have the same exact squad that they did it with last year.
I agree, and they deserve that recognition. Yeah. I just think there are 3 teams in the West. If you think the East is wide open, can you give me a better gauge at what wide open means? How many teams are in the mix in the East compared to the West, where you think there's only 1, and I think there's 3?
Pistons, Celtics. Even though I don't like them, the Knicks will be
Still
around.
gotta sit in there.
And that's
I don't
the thing.
want to.
You have to. Cleveland to figure it out. What other teams are we looking at on there?
I think those are your
There's
series.
probably four.
Those are your serious
probably be
ones.
the
Some
4.
people say don't count on Giannis. I'm like, I don't think the Bucks are.
Nah.
I think there's 2
anything.
teams in the East. I think it's Detroit and Boston. Cleveland is 4 games over 500. I suppose. Look, there's room for them.
Evan Mobley took a step back.
Yeah, but there's room for us to feel like, they should be able to find it. But they're 44 games in. How much longer do I have to give them? If I'm going to make a determination on Detroit, I suppose I could make the determination on some other teams. It might be short-sighted on my part, but right now they're a 7. Yeah. The Knicks look like they're internally combustible.
I agree.
So that's why I don't put them in there right now.
Like at any time, it could just burst into flame.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe I got to stop relating on the past so much. Maybe that was more apparent watching the game last night and what Indiana's able to do, and we'll get into that. But I'm looking at this. Yeah, Pistons haven't even won a playoff series yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, they have not won a playoff series, and you can say who was hurt and who was injured in the whole 9 yards, but they didn't win a playoff series yet. And now I believe that this is the team versus one other. That's kind of why I think it's a little bit more open.
I hear you. That's a great explanation. I guess if you'll allow me, the reason I feel that way is because Boston is without Tatum, and I know they're going to get him back.
Yeah.
I don't know what that adjustment will look like. New York changed leadership in the first chair, and they look worse.
Agreed.
And, of course, Indiana, the team that got to the finals a year ago, is missing their best player and what was their second best player a year ago, who now plays in Milwaukee.
And I feel where you're coming from, but I do believe they are ready to pass up the Knicks. But where I do kind of feel your concern more is when they face a team like the Celtics, who have had that pedigree. They've won a championship. They understand the playoffs. They understand the closing moments, which is something the Pistons are still trying to learn to perfect. And so from that standpoint, that's where I don't believe the East is as open, because from the beginning of this thing, I said Boston is going to be serious. People thought, no, Jason Tatum, like, bro, they still have the core of their championship
Derek
team.
White's a good player.
And who's their defense?
Yeah.
Like, Jason Tatum he plays defense. He's a good defender. We know that.
Yeah.
But those other guys were strapping up too, and you still see that this year. So they got it. In an East where some other teams kind of fell off, and I know some people are going to say, what about Philly? That's one where Tyrese Maxey has those guys playing really, really good right now. I got to admit that. So he's one that's
listen, Braylon,
he's a dark
I appreciate
horse.
you admitting that.
He's a dark horse. I got to admit it, man. Shout out to him.
He's not a dark horse, though.
No, I mean Philly.
Oh,
not
Philly
him.
is. I'm
Philly,
sorry.
because
Okay.
of him.
Yeah.
He's elevating them in ways that we give K credit for with the Pistons. And I got to be fair to that with Tyrese Maxey.
Does Joel Embiid still play for the Sixers? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, don't sleep on the Raptors, though.
You like Scotty in VI and Glorilla?
So can I just ask one quick
Glorilla.
question? And I'm not trying to be a smartass here. New York winning one playoff series last year and losing, what'd they lose, 6 games to Indiana? Kool-Aid, 6 games, Cam,
Yep.
I think. Why does the one series against Detroit and beating Detroit matter so much so that we don't feel like they're going away, and that was a step that was really important for them, and that Detroit still is learning in that regard.
Yeah, because they did the year before that, too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
With primarily the same pieces.
100%.
Okay.
They did 2 years in a row. And then Jalen Brunson, if you want to go back further, he's gotten to the Western Conference Final, and it's not because of Luka that particular year. He helped out in a major way, so I think you're just giving them a little bit of that if you will, extending that.
They've earned
courtesy.
that.
They've earned that,
Yeah.
but they've also earned the right to say they look like crap right now. And them hiring Mike Brown in the 35th hour, hiring Mike Brown, the guy that they didn't want to hire, and a guy that's been fired pretty much everywhere he's gone after second year at the least. It was going to, when you can't get buy-in, and that's going to be a big conversation for me about these national championships the last 3 years, is buy-in.
Yeah.
Like, that's why Indiana won. Their players buy in. That's why Ohio State, same thing. It's a culture.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Michigan. Players bought into what Jim Harbaugh was selling. It doesn't matter how fast. It don't matter the players you get, how much money you spend. If guys don't buy in, you're not getting any buy-in in New York. They're not buying into Mike Brown.
I agree 100% with you.
Karl Anthony Towns, he's not buying in, period.
It sure doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
But that's why I agree with you 100%. And I think that reinforces my belief on this team.
The buy-in. Yeah.
Because of the buy-in.
You ain't lying.
All right? So I love that approach. I think this team has that approach. I think it will continue to have that approach. I think the Red Wings are very similar.
That's right.
Indiana obviously was that last night. I want your thoughts on that. And, of course, I think a lot of people, because you were off yesterday, a lot of people want to see what you think of the Lions' new offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show. Good to have the man back in the chair here on Woodward Sports. Now this from Ben Johnson and Art and Jakes.
Talking about Baldy. We'll get into that in a second. I ain't talking about Brian Balding.
man.
The fighter. That's right. Ben Johnson is the fighter. He's been fighting for a very long time. Let him fight for you. Corporations, the government, even your insurance company will do whatever it can to minimize their liability and withhold your compensation. Don't let this happen, and you don't let it happen by making Ben Johnson the first, not the third, not the second, but the first call you make as it relates to this situation. And he will get you the settlement, the verdict that you deserve. Reach out, venfights.com.
Reach out to Art and Jakes, okay, in Lansing. And I don't mean you have to call them. We just want you there because Woodward Sports is going to host the Michigan State Watch Party on Friday, January 30th from Art and Jakes in East Lansing. Wolverines are going to head to the Breslin Center. If you're a big Wolverine fan, show up at Art and Jakes in East Lansing with your maize and blue. If you honor State, then show up, go green, go white, and watch it live on the big screens with great food, cold drinks, all kinds of beer, and all kinds of passionate basketball fans. It's rivalry night, Friday night, in East Lansing, Art and Jakes with Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, it's a ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts, Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Come on down to Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan and Detroit locations, it's the gym for you. We're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness. And Planet Fitness, they understand that as well, man. Come on down. There's no judgment home of the judgment-free zone. Trainers on staff. And then the locker rooms are super squeaky clean, so you can come and feel safe, feel comfortable, and get a good workout in, man. We all want to get that work in. So come to Planet Fitness. Start your journey with us.
No work when you're drinking Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. I can promise you that.
It's after the workout.
Yeah, it's after the workout because it's really clean. It's really crisp. It's not going to fill you up. On game day, workout day, or whatever day it is, it's Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea. Only 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol, and perfect for watching whatever. Maybe it's the national championship game. Maybe it's the conference championship games this weekend. Maybe it's a new coach getting introduced. That's possible too. Like the Giants introduced John Harbaugh today. Why not have a Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea? But please drink responsibly.
We back. Welcome back, brother.
Giants fans so excited. So excited to go 9-8. I can't wait. Like, so excited for
Well, we have some people here who are excited that the Lions went 9-8 because it's 4 straight years of a winning season.
Give me a break.
Exactly.
Give me a break.
Last night, before we get to that, because I want
Everybody's excited. I'm like chomping at the bit.
I know.
Drew Petzing.
Yeah, so I'm excited to get your thoughts on that. But first, let's talk about the national championship game last night that provided a lot of drama.
Yeah.
I don't know how many questions it answered for certain players in the NFL draft, but it was historic. I mean, for the first time since 1894, Yale Bulldogs, a team went 16-0, and that was Indiana. Wow. And you're talking about the second losingest program in the history of college football. Northwestern passed them this year.
Yeah.
And a man at the helm who's 27-2 there. Never in a million years, as you as a player at the University of Michigan, would have ever thought that football program would win a national championship. Is that fair to say?
It's very fair. When I hear 1894, like, first thing I think about, I was like, wasn't a lot going right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot going right. I had to get that out there.
Man, the Big Ten been winning a lot of college football championships.
Hey, you know what?
Talk about it.
Well, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. One, to answer your question, no, I never would have thought this would happen for the Indiana Hoosiers. You look down their list. If you just go on to internet right now, type in Indiana year-by-year results, you'll just see a nothing but 2s and 3s and 2s and 1s and 0s.
4 was a good year.
I was just about to say an occasional 4 and a 3 and a 2. This is who they've been since the beginning of their existence. This is what Indiana football was. Like, legitimately, I told you last week, it was a stat game. Indiana's on, like, there was one game my senior year we played in Indiana where the Soup had a play design for me. I had run a bunch of plays in a row, came out for a breather. They subbed another wide receiver in, didn't even look who it was. Jermaine Gonzalez, by the way. Shout out to Jermaine. Jermaine jumps in and he scores a touchdown. Take him out. Leon Hall gets injured, put in Grant Mason. Grant Mason returned the kick for a touchdown. Like, I say that to say this.
I was hoping you were going to do an Eric
Soup
Campbell
impression.
Yeah, impression. Yeah, but anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
See, I can't give you all that. You know what I'm saying? I can't give you all that. No, but this is who Indiana has been in their entirety, and it's been a laughing stock. This is the greatest coaching job that I've ever seen. This
really?
Is
wow.
They're the losingest program in the history of college.
Yeah.
Like, let that settle. Mm-hmm. And in 2 years, he's turned this program from not a laughing stock, but a powerhouse. Like a powerhouse. They won undefeated this year. They're 16-0. Last year, they only lost 2 games. That makes them, 20? He did his math wrong on that. But legitimately, they're 27-2 in the last 2 years under Kirk Cincinnati. And how he did that, he built a culture. I know we don't like that word. People talk about the NIL, the money, the transfer portal. They proved in the last 3 years you can't just throw money at it. Now, you can't just be Texas Tech and say, here's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Here's Texas A&M. Hey, look, here's all this money. Let's go get these players. Yeah. Hey, let's go in the transfer portal and get the most expensive quarterback, Let's follow it up with the most expensive wide receiver, the most expensive running back, etc. And position. That's not how you win. Signetti didn't win like that because he got the most expensive in the transfer portal. He got the right players that fit the culture. Now those players are 27 years old, but he got the right players that fit the culture. You know what you have to have. You know what Michigan had. And I'm not trying to bring it back to Michigan, but it's true. Michigan started in 24. Michigan had a buy-in. Yeah. The players believed in Jim Harbaugh.
They also had veterans, guys who took a lot of snaps.
You got to have that. That comes with the territory, I assume.
Sure.
But they bought into Jim Harbaugh. Nobody's got it better than us. The team. Ohio State wins the following year. They always are going to have culture. Ohio State has been the same since Woody was there. They had one down year. And when they flipped it, it's the same type of culture. They play for Ohio State and they play for themselves, and they win championships. That's the same thing with Cincinnati this year. These guys bought into what he was telling us. James Madison guys, the Sun Belt Conference guys, the guys that are already on Indy and the staff, the guys that they went to get in the portal, they said, we want you here, but this is what we're doing. This is who we are. So it doesn't matter about how much money you have. You still have to buy in. And I think that's what the last 3 national championships – Ryan Day. But anyway, you have to have a buy-in, and that's what you saw. Those players buy in, and the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, his stats won't tell you the story. You look at the stats, you're like, what? Yeah. They won the national championship. He had 189 yards, no touchdowns passing, this, that, and the third. What he did is he made the right plays.
Well, to Braylon's point, since 1995, and Bill Mallory was there. Bill Mallory, a former Michigan guy too. Since 1995, they only had 2 winning seasons before Curt Cignetti got there.
And one was COVID. It was a shortened season.
Exactly.
6-2.
And the year after that, they went winless in the Big Ten and went 2-10 on the year.
When Penix transferred.
Okay, that's when Penix transferred. Yeah. And that was Tom Allen, I believe. All right.
The defensive guy.
Cignetti takes over, and suddenly, you're 27-2. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
Also, too, he's an interesting character to watch. Like, I've watched more of him towards the end of the season, and now more of him through the last couple of weeks of the playoffs. He seems like this, this intense, this direct, like hard ass, like a Nick Saban type. Like
on the sidelines, he appears that way.
Like life has rubbed him the wrong way. And he's 62, and But when you actually listen to him engage in conversation, like he's actually a lot lighter than that. I can only imagine what it's like to be around him in Bloomington. Like I think they get obviously the real version of what he is. I think he's dope. I don't think he's as intense. I don't think he's as tight as people believe him to be, man. And it turns out to be a great coach, man.
Yeah, he sure has. 38-3 in his last 3 years as a head coach, 46-6 in his last 4 years as a head coach. I did hear somebody in Indianapolis earlier today say he's the best coach in college football history, and I went, okay, hold on a second. We get so hyperbolic. Even
he was on the desk for ESPN last night. His name's Nick Saban, but
yeah, exactly.
1,000%.
Not that Nick Saban said that. Nick Saban is the greatest coach in college football history, and maybe sports history. He's in the conversation.
Yeah, 1,000%. So, him and his best friend.
Yeah, you had mentioned Mendoza, and I like the kid. I do. I mean, I think he's got a natural. He's got a natural energy about him. Yeah. So I love that about him, and I love that he's not afraid to talk about his faith. I think that's really cool too. More and more athletes are doing that these days, and I applaud them for that. Do you think he is because the belief during the broadcast was that Tom Brady and Mark Davis were on the sidelines, the owner of the Raiders, and Tom Brady, who has very big influence and is a minority owner, to watch him. That could be the case. I don't know if they could have been watching Reuben Bain for all I know. I don't know. Do you think he's a 1 overall pick? Do you think he's a quarterback that can lead a franchise somewhere?
I think so, but I don't know how long is it going to take and who's going to be the right person. Like, this is a different day and age. I can't judge these players based on what I think Peyton Manning was a number 1 overall pick, or John Elway was with a number 1 overall pick, or Cam Newton was before, whatever. Like, I can't predicate it on that. I have to predicate it on what I'm seeing. It's a lot of quarterbacks that I didn't think were going to have success having success. You look at Bo Nixon, what he's doing. You look at Drake May and how good he's actually been this year. I think his upside is crazy. We can get into that when we talk playoffs. But what are the Raiders willing to do to make sure that he's the right pick? Because that's how I view this pick. It's not about Mendoza. It's about what am I willing to do? Am I willing to pay the right offensive coordinator, hire the right coach, put in the right passing game coordinator? Am I willing to put bring all this into the Raiders organization so that we can make sure that he's the right pick? How many quarterbacks have been ruined because franchises draft them? They don't give them offensive line. They don't pour into them. Like, look at Trevor Lawrence. I'm not blaming all of that on. Yeah, I'm blaming all that he is on Urban Meyer. But how many quarterbacks have gotten drafted with an Urban Meyer situation?
Yeah, I think it's an excellent point. The Raiders, if you think about it, no quarterback in the NFL this year was sacked more than Geno Smith.
When have they ever gotten right, too, by the way?
Exactly. I don't know if it's all on the offensive line. Maybe sometimes Geno Smith ran into one. I don't know. But it sure wasn't 55 times. Did that ruin Cam Ward since he was right behind Geno Smith with 55 sacks taken? I don't know. But to your point, why draft a kid at that position if you're not going to at least surround him with some players who can at least keep him somewhat protected and allow him to play through some mistakes? Because when you're playing through some of these mistakes, and you got a defense to help you out a little bit, an offensive line that's going to at least keep you clean a little bit, then you can regain the confidence, I would guess.
This is what I say about him. He doesn't have a very strong arm as it relates to getting the ball down the field. And you saw that a couple of his throws, they're like 50-50 throws on the back end side. They look like back shoulder fades, and they're just back shoulder passes, if you will. But so the arm's not necessarily a big arm. His mobility is decent now, but you already know, couple years in the league, maybe 4 of those get banged up a little bit. Like, that mobility is going out the window, if you will. That's tough. That's tough. This is an RPO world, and I'm living for the RPO. This is what you do, and that's not always going to be there, and you don't have a big arm necessarily. It's tough.
If you had
I wouldn't take him number one.
Okay, neither would I.
I wouldn't take him number one.
And that's not a knock on the kid.
Just me.
That's just me. Yeah. Okay, I can't claim to who I would take number one. You know, in a perfect world, you'd love to trade out of it. I don't think anybody feels like, oh my gosh, I've got to get there so I get this quarterback. I don't think he's that guy.
I think, we live in a world now where going through the draft for the number one overall pick may not be the best way. Yeah, the best way may be getting the veteran player, the older player that's somewhere in somebody's team right now, or trade for that, et cetera, versus going this route. It's just a different way. Like, I don't know if I'm the Raiders organization. You've never gotten anything right. You've never done anything right. I understand Tom Brady's now a part of the team, but what are you willing to do? Is this going to be a different look? I don't know if I want to put it all in Fernando's and his egg basket. Like, I'm like, give me this number one pick. Throw it out there. What can I get for it and see what comes
Yeah,
back.
Just because you need a quarterback, and we both agree they do, doesn't mean that that's what you do at number one, because unless you're completely sold on the kid. I don't do that. And I'm not saying then you draft Garrett Nussmeier later or Ty Simpson later or a player like that. Or maybe you wait the next year and you get a guy like some of these other guys that are coming out next year, okay, should be a stronger class next year.
If you're not sold on your quarterback, the guy that you're about to draft number one overall, the guy that you're going to have to build a franchise around, like, this is your guy. If you're not sold on him, don't draft him, because you're going to waste the pick. You waste the pick in this sense. If that's not the quarterback, if he's not the guy, use that pick, get draft capital, get money back in exchange. Now you have multiple picks. Now you can get multiple players. You can do multiple things. So, all right, cool, we didn't get the quarterback. It didn't work. But look what we got instead.
Yeah.
Versus we got the quarterback. It doesn't work. Now we wasted the quarterback. We wasted the number one pick. Now we don't have options anymore to haggle.
Then it sets you back another probably 5 years.
And guess what we still need?
Yeah, a quarterback.
A quarterback.
So maybe this is easier said than done, and I understand that. So we always have to, kind of couch this with this. Maybe you sign a guy who's been around for a little bit, work on strengthening your team in other areas before you go out and get the really young quarterback eventually.
So you bring him into a situation that already is on the up and up.
Yeah. The thing I do like about Fernando Mendoza is it sure, by all accounts, it sure seems like he sees the field well. Yeah. He's an astute observer at the quarterback position, makes the right reads, and seems to be a pretty genuine leader. I don't know if that wins you games, because you talked about RPO, although we could argue the RPO today, I mean, look at the 4 quarterbacks remaining, save Jarrett Stidham. I suppose Bo Nix would be in that conversation. To a certain extent, Drake may. But the two guys in the NFC.
Hey, Drake had like 60 yards rushing 2 games ago. He can run the ball.
Yeah, he can run the ball. No doubt. No doubt about that. Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, we didn't get your thoughts on last weekend's games.
Whew.
What's the overall theme from last weekend's NFL matchups that you liked or didn't like?
Interceptions in overtime. Interceptions in overtime.
Would you have gone for it if you were Ben Johnson?
Yes.
Why?
Like, I couldn't wait to talk about that 1,000%. All the momentum is on your side. This is your first year, and I know people can be like, what is it? It does. It's your first year there. They've been clamoring for some relevance. They've been clamoring to get back to the playoffs. They've been clamoring to be in a position of note, in a position of matter. That's what the Bears are. They're not only in a position, they're the number 1 team in the NFC North. You have that going into it. You're playing against a team that's won a Super Bowl, a quarterback that's won a Super Bowl, and a team that they're never more than one play away from doing something crazy. You score an amazing, miraculous touchdown on 4th and 8.
Unbelievable.
You've done it again. Caleb Williams, the icy man, the Cartier kid, although that belongs to the Browns in the 80s. I digress. Man. Brian Sipe, the cardiac kid.
Yeah.
But he's a cardiac man. You get this 4th down. You're at home. You're at home. You're legitimately at the crib. You're 2 feet from going to the next round of the playoffs. 2 feet. As opposed to going for 2, capitalizing on the momentum. Like, the Rams are shocked at this point. Like, the Rams are, holy bleep, here we go again. Last year we lost to we lost to the Eagles in the cold on the road. This is part 2. I would have gone for 2. Because you know what, Shep? If I wouldn't have got it, guarantee you, nobody in that stadium would have been mad. Nobody in that city would have been mad. Nobody on that sideline would have been mad. And if it worked, you're going to the next round of playoffs as opposed to going to overtime and giving Matt Stafford a chance, because you have to give him a chance, because somebody complained that they didn't get a shot. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills won a couple years ago. You didn't get a shot. I just would have went for it.
Yeah, I would not have gone for it. I thought the defense for Chicago, for the most part, was playing really well. I thought they were putting a lot of pressure, and it was obvious by the numbers that Matthew Stafford was under duress. Already twice earlier in the game, you could have used that same line, 2 feet to get it, and they didn't get it.
Yeah, I know
they went
that.
3 for 6
I still
on 4th down.
It.
So for me, I want to give my defense that played their asses off the opportunity to help us decide the game, knowing that you're going to get the football at least once. So that's how I would have looked at it. I thought it was the right call. You just didn't anticipate DJ Moore giving up on a damn pass route. So, but that's interesting. Now, you mentioned Josh Allen. So you've never liked him. You don't like Josh Allen. Okay.
Narratives.
Yeah, narratives.
I'm talking about that DJ Moore situation. Narratives.
What do you mean?
And giving up on the route. That was a miscommunication. He stopped on that route 1,000%, but that was a bad throw. Okay,
it was a bad throw. I'm not saying it wasn't, but it sure didn't look like DJ Moore thought the ball might be coming his way.
Which is idiotic to me, because who's their number 1 receiver in the 4th quarter in the overtime when things get crazy? Number 2.
Yeah, DJ Moore.
I'd be looking every play.
Or Colston Loveland, one of the two, but from a wide receiver standpoint, yeah. Those are the guys it seems like he goes to more than anybody.
I know to be alert.
Right.
That's right.
How about turning your head?
You do
he didn't even locate the football, all right? And look, you're right. Narratives are really important here, and we're going to get into that with Josh Allen. Narratives are really important because remember last year when DJ Moore, in a play, I forget who it was, he walked off the field or jogged off the field during the play.
He walked.
He walked.
You
okay,
right.
All right. I had it right.
I see track cleaned up for him.
Right.
He walked.
All right, trying to look out for him a little bit.
That brother walked.
The brother walked.
Yeah, that brother walked.
The narrative of Josh Allen. Now you don't. Let's get this straight. You do not like Josh Allen. Okay.
No.
You don't, or you don't like the narrative around him.
That part.
Okay. You think he is the golden boy. You think people make excuses for him. What was your issue over the weekend when he came out and admitted he let his team down, even though teammates, of course, are going to support him, but he took those bullets, and for good reason, because he did let his team down. What's the issue?
My issue is that I've never seen a quarterback, I've never seen a player that they made more excuses for than Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen has played tremendous in the playoffs, and he's just come up short. It is what it is. He ain't the first quarterback, and I use that for effect. He ain't the first quarterback to come up short. There's been many of quarterbacks that have come up short and they never got the excuses made for them. Well, this is this player's fault. It's the coach's fault. Well, you should have got another chance in overtime. The rule sucks. Last year was the third. It's always something with Josh Allen. His team let him down. He had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
And it was ugly turnovers. They were back-to-back. You get a fumble, you legitimately go in the locker room, talk about it, come back and do it again. Here's an interception. It's not even just turnovers. It's
Defense
also,
gets him the ball, and he throws a turnover. He throws a pick.
it's misplays. The Dalton Kincaid situation, the Khalil Shakir situation, they're wide open.
100%.
And you're dirting passes. He cries at the podium. Now everybody's like, oh, my God, he's the greatest quarterback. We're just so sorry. We're just so sorry for him. And then Deion Dawkins is crying, too. Like, give me a break. He had a bad game, and it's okay. People are still making excuses for him. They don't do that with other quarterbacks.
Well, they do it with Lamar Jackson.
No, they don't.
Sure they do.
At the Lamar Jackson last year got all the blunt. They said, oh, man, he had 2 interceptions, this, that, and the third. They didn't give him the same conversation, whereas Josh Allen had 4 turnovers, but the conversation was he had a miraculous comeback. He still came back. He was resilient, got his team to overtime, and they cheated him in overtime. Lamar Jackson, every time you bring up the Mark Andrews drop pass, it's like, well, he fumbled 2 times. Yeah, but that happened, and he still got him to this point.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, but I do think a lot of people are blaming Josh Allen, and they should blame Josh Allen. He's blaming himself.
You are, and he is,
Yeah.
but not everybody else that I'm hearing isn't. So you don't scroll social media bored like I do from time to time to see what the pulse of the people are. People are lobbying and making excuses for Josh.
Yeah, there is no excuse for it. Look, there's no excuse for his performance. There's no excuse for Justin Herbert's performance.
You know why you make excuses? See, when you
because you like a player.
Exactly. And when you crown somebody a player before they arrive, that's what's wrong with this era.
I agree.
We're crowning individuals. They crowned Josh Allen 4 years ago. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes is winning the Super Bowl.
Dude, but we do that in every sport at almost every level.
But now you got to double and triple down when your guy doesn't win.
You're right.
You got commentators saying he's the best player ever, the best quarterback ever before the playoffs.
That's
like,
crazy.
What are you talking about?
I don't know who the hell said that.
Like
but
Donovan McNabb had the same numbers as Josh Allen.
Yeah, and got further.
Exactly.
I might add. I would say, look, I don't like any of that. We crown people way too early.
Yes.
They did it with Arch Manning. Maybe we did it with Bryce Underwood. That's a possibility, okay? We've done it with a lot of different people that they are the next coming. They did it with C.J. Stroud after his rookie year where he was offensive.
They gave him hell for his 4 turnovers.
You're damn right.
I agree.
Okay, and they should. I mean, especially over the last 2 years. Right. Not just the interceptions, but the fumbles and how the body language looks. Yeah. It looks awful. So I don't. Just because you are hard on a player doesn't mean A, you hate the player, or B, you think the player is terrible.
Yeah.
If a guy has a bad game, what is wrong with saying he had a bad game?
Also, too, like, hold everybody to the same merit.
Right.
Do you remember this? Kool-Aid Cam? Tell me I'm making stuff up. So Josh Allen cries at the podium, and everybody is like, oh, it's human. He really cares. He's passionate. He cares about the game, which is cool. Like, I'm not a crier, but if you cry, that's fine. That's how you show passion. I kind of remember there was Caleb Williams playing in a game at USC, which you're still in college. After this game in which he was trying to get to the Pac-12 championship, I think he cost his team and felt bad, and then proceeds to have a moment where he goes to the stands, and now he's crying with his mom. Family, and what did everybody say about Caleb?
Yeah,
he's a crybaby. He's this. There's no room for that in the game.
Social
yada,
media
yada,
crush.
yada. I don't even necessarily like Caleb Williams' game, but be the same.
Amen.
Guys, because now
I don't understand why it's bad to show emotion. We hear people all the time saying, I want to see emotion from my coaches. I want to see emotion from my players.
Yeah.
You're telling me you just want to see a pumped up player? You just want to see a player doing a dance? You want to see them putting a chain over their neck because they made a big play? Or what's wrong with the aspect of, I feel like I let my team down?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I have no issue with that in any sport. Isaiah Thomas cried after they won a world championship because he knows how hard it was to get there. I'm okay with that. I don't care what happens. But as far as, the criticism, you've got to stay consistent.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that. Excuses are made for players we like, period. Everyone does it. I've done it.
Yeah.
Okay? We've done it here with certain players in certain sports.
100%.
You've done it. I've done it. It's okay. You've done it with Lamar Jackson. John Harbaugh's a bad coach. Lamar Jackson, with Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Lamar Jackson's a phenomenal player.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, he's played 8 games. He's 3-5, and he's thrown a pick in 6 of those 8 games.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Nope.
Okay? Josh Allen can't do what he did and expect to win. Just because Bo Nix got away with it doesn't mean that Josh Allen should be allowed to get away with it either.
Also, too, like when you become MVP, when people talk about you in a certain regard, unfortunately, that's what comes with the territory.
You know that better than anybody.
And you ask for it by being so good.
Right.
Now, you asked for it by being that damn good. So I don't think you're mad. At the end of the day, I don't think Josh feels anyway. This is us talking to the media. Josh got his coach fired, right? That's the narrative today. Josh Allen got the head coach fired. And that's not true. That's not exactly true.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go quite that far. I was surprised that Sean McDermott got fired, but they want to move on. I'm fine with that. Okay, whatever. I think it's an appealing job, no doubt. It is very puzzling to me how Sean McDermott can get fired, but Brandon Beane can get promoted. Brandon Beane is their general manager, and he's only drafted 2 Pro Bowl players out of 56 draft picks since he drafted Josh Allen. James Cook and Dawson Knox.
Yeah.
And yet he's going to get promoted, but whatever. I digress. The problem I have with people's message in that regard, they say they've done a disservice to Josh Allen. No. Josh Allen did a disservice to himself in the last game, okay? And there are certain times where even he would admit he's got to be a little bit better.
Yeah. No, 100%. As it relates to him getting fired and Brandon Beane's situation, or Brian Beane's situation, like, it's the suits versus the coaches. That's what this is. Like, as it relates to him getting fired, Sean McDermott almost got fired 4 years ago. Like, legitimately. He lost the locker room, didn't have the players. It's 2022, my bad.
Okay.
And he had to reinvent himself, fire his offensive coordinator, hire Joe Brady, et cetera, and then it started working, and that extended his pass. So, for sure, it's always been kind of on the precipice. So that's thing one. As it relates to why Brian Beane kept his job, because he's a suit. Like, he spends more time with the owner. Like, he's a suit that supposedly his thing is supposed to be the salary cap. He's not necessarily doing the best in that, but drafting, he's been average.
Yeah.
But he spends all his time with the owner. Like, the coach, he's spreading little conversations. Hey, man, we gotta do something with Sean McDermott. I don't know. Or, oh, man, another loss. We should have beat this team.
That's how it works.
We should have beat this team.
Yeah.
Really? They lost to the Falcons?
Yeah.
I don't know about this, Mr. Pagula. And then they lose to the Dolphins. He stayed up there. He's spreading these seeds. I'm just the money man. I drafted Josh Allen. Like, I got you James Cook. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
This is about him. He's the same message, the same way, and they're not being able to. Do you know Joe Burrow wasn't in it this year? Patrick Mahomes was in it, and he still couldn't get it. These are the kind of conversations that GMs do when they're trying to disassociate themselves with that X. And he must have done a good enough job.
Otherwise, they're linked. Yeah.
100%. He got away from it. He said, hey, look, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I can't coach the talent.
Yeah.
And that's probably what happened. He said, look, also, too, it doesn't help when you see how fast guys are turning things around. If you're an owner with some money and you're like, I've been paying this guy and paying this guy and paying this guy. Because Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league this year, or him and Matt Stafford. He's one of the best 3, right?
Or Drake May, yeah.
Or Drake May. All right, he's one of the best 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the league this year. Why are we wasting his time?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Or maybe Jared Goff. Jared Goff might be considered one of the better quarterbacks in the league this year. I mean, numbers-wise.
Jared Goff could do what Josh Allen did this past Sunday. Yeah, for sure.
Jared Goff did do what Josh Allen did last year, unfortunately.
I know, that's why I said.
I know. When we come back, speaking of Jared Goff and the Lions, they've got themselves a new offensive coordinator. Braylon's thoughts on the guy now in charge
you know what?
of the offense.
We do have a poll up in the chat right now. Do you believe Braylon Edwards will give the stamp of approval for Lions OC hire of Drew Petzing? Right now,
yeah,
64% of
lie.
people believe you will not, but 36% of the people do believe you're going to give a stamp of approval.
They holding out faith.
They holding out faith.
Y'all must have forgot. What? I'm coming.
Braylon will remind you when we come back with this from Smoothie King and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Man, it's cold as heck outside. It is freezing
snap,
cold. Michigan winter, man, that slow you down, but look, don't hesitate. Just go to Smoothie Kings and get some of those real ingredients in the smoothies at Smoothie King. They got a litany of lists for you, and they are all amazing, all with real protein, all with real ingredients. I love the real fruit. Personally, pull up on Smoothie King, man. In High School Athlete of the Week, we will get back into that in February.
Well, February might be a little bit warmer, which would be great. We don't anticipate that, but it should be a little bit warmer. It's going to be really cold this weekend, you guys. Like, it's supposed to be 8 degrees. It's going to feel below zero. We want to make sure you're staying warm. More importantly, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning want to make sure you're staying warm. Reliable service, serving Metro Detroit for well over 40 years, treating you the right way. They've got you covered with fast, dependable emergency service when you need it most. You want to keep your home warm? Here's what you do. You make sure you deal with the experts at Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Check out their website. It's right there, sharonsheating.com, or call them today and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you, 734-238-3805.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
Check it out, y'all. You can place any bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that bet back. All you got to do is scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to 1 stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Woodward Sports and Jazz Car Wash is partnering up to hook you up with a free car wash. Just text WSN to 888-522-1729 and enjoy the top tier service from the free vacuums, compressed air, and all the mat cleaning stations. With over 40 locations around the state, Jazz Car Wash is the best car wash in the state. And they have the unlimited plan. You should take advantage. Sign up for that unlimited plan. It's $29.99 and you get access to all the things at all the locations. Listen to your boy. Pull up, get the unlimited plan. Get yourself a car wash for free. Let's start rocking and rolling.
And we back. And we do got a couple super
We got a
chats.
couple
I was
super
going to say,
chats.
you want to rock and roll with some super chats real quick?
Yeah, I was looking at them here, man. Shout out to the people for
I
supporting.
got some good more conversation.
Thanks a
Smash
lot,
that
you
like
guys.
button if you haven't
Appreciate
got
you all
that.
being in there. Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of
Shepard,
people here,
appreciate
man. And you know what? I think it's because people are ready to hear what Braylon got to say, but shout out to these super chats. Michael Wary, $2 super chat, says, Bears fans, where are you at today?
Be quiet.
And he put a whole bunch of laughing emojis, just so you guys should know. LeBartney, $4.99 super chat. Shout out Michigan. Stay safe and warm. Shout out Woodward Sports Network for making me feel closer to home. And thank you,
Hey,
LeBartney,
we
for
appreciate
always
that, man.
supporting us, man. Your
Respect.
super chats,
Shout
your
out
commentary, your support of us, man, it goes a long way.
You guys are the best, man. Really
Definitely. He
appreciate
also says, and I think you'll like this one to hear, Shep. LeBartney with another $4.99 super chat. He just jumped to #1 crown in amongst our chat and said, shout out buddies in Detroit. He said, let me open up a franchise in Dubai.
it. So he's trying to make me hungry? Is that what you're telling me?
He's trying to get you out to Dubai
Trying
and
to
get
get you
you
to
buddy.
That's what I heard.
I'd be all over that.
I heard a trip to Dubai.
Let's go. All right, we'll play golf.
Yeah.
We'll eat buddies.
Yeah.
We'll drink
Oh.
poolside.
Yep.
Good for that. Yeah.
His-
They've got some good golf courses in Dubai, is what I hear.
That's what I'm talking
Hey,
about. Now,
pizza and
is
golf?
Dubai along the allies for U.S.? These are trying times right now.
It is for the Live Golf Tournament.
Okay, there it is.
There we go.
There it is. Trump was part of that, too.
There we go.
He actually lobbied for that. Yeah,
Take that.
for sure.
Hey, Michael Wary sends in a $5 super chat. Bray, will you sit back and see what happens, or do you feel this is a trash hire? And right now, the poll has moved a little. 35% believe that you are going to give this the stamp of approval.
35%.
So it went down.
So it
That's
went down.
Yeah.
So it went down.
I like how Kool-Aid kind of positioned that.
He did. That was
He went
nice.
with the lower percentage
He
of
did.
what he thinks you're going to do rather than the higher percentage.
That's a lot for me, man. That's interesting.
So we're getting a lot of feedback
Yeah.
from people who are quote unquote in the know in the National Football League.
This
For
is true.
example, there's a guy on ESPN by the name of Peter Schrager, who used to work for NFL Network. Drew Petzing, a widely respected young offensive coach. He's only 38. Legit head coaching buzz when he had a healthy starting quarterback. So he's a lot closer to the NFL than I am.
Yeah.
I don't recall his name being mentioned as a head coach after 1 year as a offensive coordinator in Arizona. Now, maybe it's the second year. I don't recall that, but he can say that. Surprised the hire is being panned. Alas, I guess we will see. Look, we said this yesterday, and I know social media clips only certain, takes. We were very careful yesterday on saying we don't know.
Yeah.
And it's okay to admit that. We don't know what these guys are. Most people don't know offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators
We knew
unless
it
they
wasn't
were
Mike
past head
McDaniels.
coaches. Right.
Yeah.
You knew Mike McDaniel because he's a name. You should know Zach Robinson because he's a name. You should know Mike Kafka because he's a name. Bray, I want your thoughts on just the fact that this is a team that did vet about 9 players or 9 coaches, would-be coaches. Just from what you've experienced and looked at his career, why he either fits or doesn't fit here. Loaded question.
Yeah, it was. It was a loaded question. When I saw the news yesterday, I said, oh, cool. We got something to talk about. Let me see what it is. I saw who it was. I wasn't excited. I wasn't over the moon. I think we have been talking for a while about what we wanted here. We threw out some names about what we know they could do with the talent that we had. And when you get a name like Petzing and you're trying to figure it out, like, wait, who? Where's this guy coach at? What's that? How did he get here? It's not one that jumps off the page. It's not one that's like, heck yeah, we got our guy. This is the guy. Whoever you thought the guy was, this is not that. So now I'm like, man, they didn't get this guy. And then the Mike McDaniel stuff comes out and they say it wasn't the right fit. What do you mean? What do you mean by not the right fit? We didn't make the playoffs. Like, what do you mean not the right fit? This is a guy that's shown you what he can do over the years with San Francisco 49ers. And there's other ones that they've interviewed, 9 in total, to get to the decision of Petzing. So luckily I had a day, though. Luckily I didn't have to come in here and just talk about it yesterday or talk about it cold. I got a chance to take my time, be relaxed, and be patient, like I said I was going to do in 2026. What he does well is the run game, 13 personnel. That's what they do well. 125 yards a game, 13 personnel, 3 tight ends, 1 running back if you're a 1 wide receiver. That's what he uses. That's what his bread and butter is. That's what he's learned through his time with the Cleveland Browns and Stefanski, which he still uses, as well as the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions were their best in 23 and 24 when they were running 13 personnel. They were their best when they were able to run the ball consistently behind consistent offensive linemen. I think this is the Lions trying to get back to what they do. They want to get back to running the ball. They understand, Jared Goff threw for 4,500 yards this year, but it was a tough 4,500 yards, and it was an empty calorie 4,500 yards and 34, 6, 7, however many touchdowns it was. They want to be able to run the ball, control the flow of the game, open up play action, which Jared Goff was the best at over those 3 years, get back to that, making it easier. And I think this coaching hire in their mind gets them back to this. With that being said, I was looking for a home run. I thought we were waiting for a home run, looking with the weapons that you have, hoping Sam Laporta comes back, assuming that that's going to be the case, that Dave Montgomery continues to play, that you're going to get somebody in free agency as it relates to the offensive line, that you're going to draft the offensive lineman as well. Like, with that, you're looking for a home run hire that can take that and turn that into something special. The other side of that, though, Shep, if you have, we keep talking about how good our players are.
Yeah.
We keep talking about the skill set. We keep talking about what someone is going to walk into as it relates to
how it's an attractive job.
Yeah, it's a very attractive job, the weapons. If they're going to shore up the offensive line, why, this is just a thought, why would you bring in somebody to completely revamp what the offense is if you've already experienced success, a lot of success a certain way, and you still have those guys? Wouldn't you want to get closer to that versus trying to change the whole system?
Yeah, my guess is he came in and he impressed, obviously.
Yes.
Dan Campbell and Chris Spielman, who was part of it, and Brad Holmes. I think the mantra that a lot of people are kind of spewing to fans right now is that you have to trust, for lack of a better word, the process, which is fine. But we have done that in plenty of other cases. We trusted it with John Morton.
Yeah.
We trusted it with Kelvin Shepard. We trusted it in the last 2 drafts. We trusted it at the trade deadline when there was very little, if any, movement whatsoever. And we trusted it, and when you said, I'm not going to re-sign Kevin Zeitler, I'm going to put this player in this position, we've trusted all of that. The people who are out there telling us as a fan base that we need to trust more is unfair, because I think we've shown in general, and I'm painting all of us with a broad brush, so I don't mean to, but we've trusted them a great deal. They've earned our trust, but they've also done some things that has made us question some of their decision making. And it's okay to wonder why this was the hire.
Yeah, it's definitely okay to wonder why. To your point, everyone has followed and trusted the Lions since they've taken over and since they've turned this thing around. Even people at the end of the season, after they don't make the playoffs, they go 9-8, still are lobbying for how this was a successful season. Still are lobbying for, I trust.
It's a winning season.
Exactly. I still trust Brad Holmes. Do you remember what we were? You still have the majority of the fan base doing that. The reason why I say this is what it is. They've put themselves in a position to where everything that I've said, Shep, like when I have my other sides, like maybe they should do this. I think they should revamp the offensive line. Maybe they should put somebody on the opposite side. Maybe this is a weapon that they should go get. They didn't listen. They trolled us at every turn. Trolling will get you in trouble. Ask the Buffalo Bills about that, and they're only trolling the wide receivers. I digress. Getting back into it. So now it's about them. So now we have to follow what the Lions do. We have to be patient because the Lions have put us in this position to not listen to us, to not listen to anybody else, to do it their way. So they have done it their way, and this is their way. What I will tell you is this hire, it speeds up that clock, though.
It does.
It speeds up that clock in terms of what can happen after 2026 season.
Thank you.
Because you saw 2 head coaches get fired to have Super Bowl wins. You saw another head coach in Sean McDermott that's fired that's done more than Dan Campbell has done by hiring a guy that we don't know, and we're also like, I mean, I guess, like, by doing that, if this is not a successful season, Dan Campbell, congratulations, you could get fired. Like, that's what this hire does.
I would think it would take another year before they wore themselves out.
If you don't make the playoffs,
I think you would be put on notice then. But either way, it shows you, to your mindset, it shows you how important this hire is.
Process.
That's your this is funny.
Put the other one up there.
This is really, really important for this franchise because you sure don't want to be put in a situation where middle of the season you're taking over your play calling duties yet again. Now, I don't want to necessarily say that this guy has no business being here. That's not what we said yesterday, nor is it something that we believe in today. It's hard to be patient in our society. But when you hear people suggesting that there are sources out there saying that they wanted somebody safe, or they wanted, safe is the wrong word, they wanted stability there, if that's the case, if that's the case, let me ask you this question. If he was a head coaching buzz when his team was healthy a couple of years ago, it wasn't this year, but it was last year, right? 2 years ago. If he was a head coaching buzz, how does that make it stable? And then here's the other thing I hear. I hear people talking about, well, they want the next Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson and he are close. They were in each other's weddings or whatever.
And they coached together at Boston as well.
Yeah, and my whole point to that is, okay, wait a minute. If he's all that in a bag of chips, why didn't Ben Johnson bring him over to Chicago? If you're afraid Kevin Stefanski was going to take him, when Kevin Stefanski took the Atlanta job, Kevin Stefanski got the job a couple of days ago, and he probably knew he was getting the job anyway. Isn't that one of those situations like, hey, Bray, it's on, man. I'm going. You're coming with me, right?
That's what it would feel like. How much does Dan Campbell want to be involved in the offense? That's another thing. Are you hiring somebody? The lateral move is always interesting to me. He's making a lateral move. He's going from offensive coordinator to offensive coordinator. Better weapons over here, but still the same job. Like, that's something to watch out for. Like I said, it's a head scratcher. It's a head scratcher, but then you look at the numbers. You look at what he's good at. You look at what the success is, and you see what maybe they're trying to get back to what that was. But
this is
it's a desperate move, man.
This is so funny because you've got
that looks like what's his name? Derek Walton. That looks more like D. Walton.
It does.
You know what?
Yeah, from the University of Michigan. Yeah, who I love. He's one of the best. He's one of my favorite players all time to play at Michigan. But it is pretty funny. Never heard of him. Questionable hire from Brian Branch, or Brian Branch is over here. Who? Yeah, and a reporter. Who? That's very creative. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Because they've hired, at the end of the day, Shep, they've hired a coach that we don't really have a lot about. Like, they've hired a coach to, we're waiting. He's a wait and see coach. Like, because I can't necessarily look at the sporadic play and what happened in with the Arizona Cardinals over the last 2 years. Like, the rosters are full of different starters every single time. So I can't make a lot of it. What I can make is he knows how to use the tight end. Trey McBride's pretty good. Like, anybody can use him, but he uses the tight end. The running game, they've had a bunch of different running backs last year, and they still found levels of success when Connor was out. So
the ability to incorporate the tight end was huge there. But McBride, 81 catches, 3 touchdowns, 111 catches, over 1,100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then this year 126, over 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's amazing, right? It comes at the expense of your wide receivers too. He's not going to do that with Sam Laporta here when you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, and hopefully Isaac Tesla, not to mention the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs is a guy who's going to get a lot of touches through the air as well. So I think you got to be careful there. And Sam Laporta had an incredible all-pro second team as a rookie when he was healthy under a different offensive coordinator. But I do think it's interesting the numbers that we kind of gravitate to, or members of the media will gravitate to. They'll highlight when they were healthy. And that's fine. How come we don't do that when the Lions have issues? I mean, I wanted John Morton gone. So did you. But we were talking about excuse making for Josh Allen earlier.
Yeah.
Seems like there's a lot of excuse making for Drew Petzing. I didn't hear those excuses for John Morton. All I heard was there's a disconnect. They're not very good. Their left tackle may retire. He was banged up. The left guard was questionable. The center was questionable. The right guard's a freaking rookie. I mean, if you want to be consistent, let's be consistent here, okay? You're going to make all the excuses for Drew Petzing because they were banged up a little bit. And granted, they lost some wide receivers. They lost their running back. Maybe they lost their quarterback. That could have been a good thing because Jacoby Brissett might have been better. Lions lost some stuff too. And nobody wants to give that benefit of the doubt to the guy who was shown the door. And I think you got to be consistent in that regard.
He was bald-headed too.
And he was bald-headed too.
Yeah. They got a thing for these bald head
They
coaches.
got a thing for the bald-head guys.
It's going to be interesting to see what it is, man. We can go down to the stats and find out what he does well, what he does wrong. I mean, what he does not do well. But at the end of the day, it is a very lackluster hire. It's not what I think anyone was looking for. We don't know what we don't know. But what we do know, it's not exciting enough to move my needle.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's – I don't think that's what a general manager or a head coach's job is, to move me in any one way or the other.
You better move your players. And if I played for the Detroit Lions right now, this wouldn't move me.
Yeah.
If I'm Amon-Ra St. Brown, this isn't moving. James Williams, this isn't moving. Hell, if I'm Jared Goff, maybe the fact that I know that we're revamping the line and we want to get through the running game, but I don't know how excited I am from Jared Goff.
Yeah, I don't know if it was either Dave Burkett of the Free Press or Justin Rogers who tweeted out that Jared Goff did talk, or wrote an article. Jared Goff did talk with Drew Petzing. So he obviously had to have been.
He also talked to Johnny Morton, too. That's what they told us.
Okay.
Or John Morton.
John Morton.
They also told us he talked to John Morton, and he had a hand in it, and he felt comfortable. So I
said that during training camp.
Yeah,
Remember, you guys are making a big deal out of this, but really we're on the same page.
I don't trust the Lions anymore as it relates to the press conferences and the podium. They're lying. So I'm not listening to anything they're saying. And that's what they're doing right now. And that's maybe a too aggressive way to say it, so maybe let's just say that they're playing coy at the microphone.
You think some of these articles, some of these quotes with some of these guys from the Nash are – okay, yeah. Little spoon. Here you go.
Little spoon.
There you go.
A little spoon. Hey, you know.
There's a bowl full of quotes. Here you go. Why don't you scoop them up?
It won't be too bad. You know what I'm saying? Just a couple of those. You know, these are the buzzwords.
I highlighted something there for you.
Yeah,
it's just the Cliff Notes, if that's all right.
So yeah, I think they're in that phase. Last year and what it finished up and how it finished, it was a bad season. It was an embarrassing one for them. And I think this is kind of like the subtle ways. Everything is going to be subtle. Everything is going to be in-house. I think all we're going to start to get is just coach speak, which we've never gotten.
2 days last week, you put up Sheila's letter to the fans.
Yeah.
And you pointed out some specific words about what they have to do moving forward. Is this hire one of those things that match what she had told her season ticket holders or her fans?
Yes. I don't want to say yes, but yes, because she said they were going to refocus and get back to the things that they were doing.
Okay.
Like now she added other words. She added, but we're going to change up a little bit. We're going to evolve. We're going to grow. Right. But she also used a lot of words. We need to get back to what we were in 20. Now she didn't say years, but we need to get back. This is a way, maybe, for the Lions to get back. It is a very unenthusing way, but where were the Lions bad last year that they're normally good?
Trenches. Both sides of the ball.
And, 100%.
Not just the offensive line, but the defensive line, too.
Very true. But the offensive line was more important because the offensive line was the identity of the whole team. When you have that offensive line cooking like that, you can score 55 points and you can blow teams out and make it to where, it's a pretty easy day for us on defense. All we got to do is know they're going to pass.
Right.
So
that was their identity. You and I have talked about that. That was their identity. That identity was lost.
So how can we run the ball?
Yeah.
Where do we need to go to get a guy that understands how to run the ball? Like, come in here and show us. Like, when we're interviewing you, like, when you get on that wall, what would you do differently if you were the OC? Like, how can we believe in you? Whatever that conversation, whatever the questions is, Petzing must have went there and told him. Like, maybe he said, look, your run game is trash. And that's where you guys were when you guys were successful, when you guys were winning. He said Demo and Gibbs, they were rocking and rolling. We got to get back to that. Are you planning on getting some offensive linemen? What does that look like? Well, we're thinking, all right, stop there.
Sometimes honesty is not always the best thing. I mean, maybe Sean McDermott did that in Buffalo a little bit, and maybe it cost him.
Two months ago, this is speaking of insight. 2 months ago, conversation was had between Sean McDermott, Pergola, as well as Bean.
Yeah.
They
so Terry Pegula, the owner, so people are aware, Terry Pegula is the owner of the Buffalo Bills. Go ahead.
Dar's a pretty good tennis player. Yeah. Last time I checked.
She's very good. And
100%.
he also owns the Buffalo Sabres. He's the one who paid for the Penn State Ice Arena, and he also owns their indoor lacrosse team the other day.
Sean McDermott goes into the office and he basically tells them that we don't have enough talent. We don't have enough all-star power to win it all.
He's not wrong.
He knew that. But to your point, sometimes being right isn't being right. So he goes in and he has this conversation, and this is where this is where he suits. So they have this conversation. He walks out. Conversation's over. You rub both of those guys the wrong way. But now this is where, as a GM, president, this is where I can bend the ear, and this is where I can have the conversation. So he's trying to get you to spend more money. Like, he's trying to get you to open your pocket. You've already opened your pocket up. So he's trying to get you to open your pocket up, spend more. He already has Josh Allen. He's got the number one running back in the league.
Yeah, we just gave James Cook a lot of money.
He said we just paid him. Yeah. Like, what is he talking about? Nice sounds. That sounds like we don't have the right coach. We don't have enough to win the Super Bowl. What coach says that?
Yeah.
In November, that's the conversation. Now that part, I'm making all the secondary part up because this is just.
But the meeting's real.
The meeting is real. The conversation was real. This is what he talked about. Now this other part, I'm kind of like, I'm assuming.
Fill in the blanks. Yeah.
That's one thing happened. And then you leave, you walk out, and the owners like competency. So you're going to come here and complain about what I'm not giving or what I'm not providing for you. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, I'm about to start looking at these records year by year, and where you let down, here's another divisional loss and a divisional loss, and here's a conference championship, here's a wild card, here's a wild card, here's a wild card. Mm-hmm. Starting to look at this, you make these conversations, your team does this, and now you're fired.
Yeah. You're also listening a little bit. There has to be listening a little bit to the media where they're saying, hey, guess what? You know who's not blocking your path this year?
Yeah, but Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes,
Lamar Jackson. Right. Even though I think they're 2-0 against Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. So I always found that kind of funny. And I always found it kind of funny, too, because quarterbacks don't play against one another. They're playing against defenses. You're playing against a really good defense in Denver. You're playing against a good defense in New England. Playing a really good defense against Houston. That's great insight. We appreciate that. All right, when we come back, let's do a Braylon's breakdown from a very controversial play over the weekend. And it will remain controversial, but maybe Bray can give us a little bit, just a little bit, of clarity on that play that was called an interception. Let's see what his thoughts are on after this from Dr. Jeffrey Pierce and Buddies.
Hey, attention sports fans. I saw Dr. Pierce earlier today. He's going to get my arm right finally. Don't miss expert sports injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Catch him every Tuesday and Thursday here on Braylon Network Show on Thursdays, Big D Energy on Tuesday. Trust the guy that we trust. Also, he's here to help you. That's right, I'm talking about you, not the proverbial you. Get yourself back together. Get diagnosed with the right things, whatever you have. He can make sure that you're good and on the road to being the best version of yourself. 248-426-9944.
Speaking of trust, Buddies earned your trust by creating the original Detroit-style pizza for a long time. 1946 is when they first opened their doors and introduced this delicious pizza pie to you. 20 locations throughout the state of Michigan. Had one last night while watching the national championship game and loved every single second of it, okay? Not every single minute like a Loverboy song, every single second of it. Buddies, Cornerstone, City of Detroit. Save 10% right now off your entire order using promo code 10MEAL. That's 10, M-E-A-L. And if you want the nearest Buddies closest to you, all you got to do is go to buddiespizza.com.
Sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-zero.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, Why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
How do you think you won? We got
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Heavyweights are headed to Black Rock Bar and Grill in Davison, Michigan for the third Black Rock Food Review on Wednesday, January 28th from 5 to 7. They'll be joined by, you guessed it, none other than Darren McCarty, D-Mac, the Enforcer, who's going to debut his new Enforcer ribeye, 25-ounce ribeye, inspired by the legend himself. Or the Enforcer cut at your local Black Rock today for a chance to win a signed Darren McCarty jersey or 2 tickets to Detroit versus the Avalanche on Saturday, January 31st. To enter, Post a photo of your steak using BR Enforcer Cut and hashtag giveaway. The winner will be read on by DMAC Live at Black Rock Davidson on the 28th. See you there, and if not there, pull up to a Black Rock near you.
Hey, I'm sorry. Are we back? Oh, Lady James, duh. God, sometimes I'm just, I get too caught up in what else we got going on, and so many good comments in the chat. But really, not just good, but great haircuts at Lady James Haircuts for Men right here in Birmingham. All we see is these ladies working really hard, making sure your time is used the right way. You come in, you sign in, you're in the chair, you get a hell of a haircut, and then you're out. And you know what they're doing afterwards? They're not kibitzing. They're not talking. They're not on their phone. You know what they're doing? They're cleaning the store. It is so clean. It is so well organized. It's exactly the type of atmosphere you want to be a part of. It's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You know what I should,
now we're back.
You know what I should have said about the whole situation as it relates to Petzing the hire? This is what it is. Because of what the Lions have done, just in my estimation, over the last calendar year or so, how they said they were good in the draft, said they were good on the defensive end, said they were good on the rush end, said they were good on the offensive line, didn't choose to play Kevin Zeitler at every single turn in which they should have made a move, or they should have made this move. They chose not to. And they told me we were good at every single turn. Said we were good here. Walked into the season, said we were good. The reason why this hire feels so lackluster is because I know it's not the right one in my head, but because you keep doing things your way, I gotta sit back and chill.
Can I play devil's advocate?
You can, but the only thing is, like, at every turn I wanted you to do something that you didn't do, and now here we are.
Yeah, I don't know this guy well enough to know whether it's the right one or not. I'm surprised at the timing. I'm a little surprised that that's who they chose.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. At what point did you stop? When we say we got to trust them a little bit, trust the process, at what point did that stop? Like, you just brought up 5 examples, really good examples.
Yeah.
Just before the break, I brought up similar 5 examples.
Yeah.
At what point did we say, now you're starting to lose me? When was it? Was it John Morton? Was it the trade deadline? Was it not re-signing Zeitler? Was it forcing Glasgow to center? Was it the inability to use David Montgomery? Was it the draft pick of Enos Rakestraw, Terrion Arnold? Was it the fact that you decided that Al-Qadim Mohammed was going to be better than claiming another defensive end? Was it not using Isaac Tesla despite moving up a couple of spots, or more than a couple of spots, but using a couple of thirds to get him? When do people... And I think this is a fair question. When do people say, I was trusting you. You deserved my trust. Thank you for everything. But now I have to start thinking for myself, and I'm not seeing it as of late. When was it for you?
All those things. Like, you did a great job of mentioning those things. But I think just going into the season, I think maybe the last one would be the double down, be the trade deadline. Maybe you didn't do anything at the trade deadline, so maybe that's what it was. But it was all those compiled on top of each other. Now you take away from everything that you built. And every time you have a conversation about trusting the Detroit Lions, trusting Brad Holmes, trusting Dan Campbell, a lot of that trust is predicated on what you did leading up into the playoff game last year. A lot of it is done because you went to the NFC Championship in 2023. Mm-hmm. Those things were great. Those things were amazing. But now we're on to something new. Now we need that next thing. So this is the next situation where I'm just underwhelmed by your lack of decisions or a decision that was underwhelming.
By the way, the one thing we should acknowledge is a Michigander, a Dearborn native, Robert Saleh, getting another opportunity going to Tennessee. I'm happy.
Would you have taken that job?
I was a little surprised. I thought there might be a different job there available to him, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm just glad that he's getting a second opportunity because I think he does deserve it. And the reason I say that is because of your knowledge about your former team.
Yeah.
Okay. And there are some things that needed to be fixed without question.
Yeah. You get an opportunity, you have to take the opportunity. But with so many coaching jobs popping up, man, just like you just never know. Like taking the job at Tennessee is a tough spot. Nobody has really. I mean, I guess Vrabel did for a second, but they never made it past that. Tennessee's a tough gig. Don't necessarily know if you got the quarterback right. Offense is kind of all over the place. The backfield is not necessarily tight. You don't really have wide receivers yet. Offensive line, you're still trying to figure some things out. It's tough. Yeah, to take that job. They just hired a coach, and now they're just removing themselves from a coach. Like, I got to take all these things into account when I'm making that decision. You didn't, regardless of whose fault it did not end well when you were in New York. Like, so that's already a blemish on the record. Like, one thing about being a head coach, you can't take too many blemishes. Because regardless of what the situation is like, well, the Jets are always going to jet. Well, the Titans haven't figured it out since Jeff Fisher. Doesn't matter. Yep. That's going to be a strike, too, when people look at your resume if it doesn't work out. So I hope he bringing the right coordinators with him in this endeavor.
Jeff Merrick, by the way, who's pretty good and linked into the NHL very closely, has said about the Red Wings, they're looking for one more forward, one more top six forward, and the pressure is on to get into the playoffs. So it may be something we can address tomorrow since they play tomorrow. They don't play tonight. It's Michigan and Michigan State basketball playing tonight, so looking forward to that. Are we ready with Braylon's breakdown?
We are.
All right, let's get after this. I can't wait for it. Very controversial play in the Denver-Buffalo game. That Denver-Buffalo game that ended up being a Denver victory. We know that in overtime. We have already talked a little bit about Josh Allen's struggles at protecting the football. He fumbled just before the half. He fumbled just after the half. He threw an interception that he shouldn't have thrown. And this, how? Can somebody explain? Anyway.
Because Alabama, and they're trying to get ready for the 2026 season. This is what they do as it relates to the SEC.
Apparently, McMillan in on this. McMillan comes away with it as the defensive back. Cooks thought he had it, thought the knee was down. Are we?
This is not an interception. This is not an interception. It's a catch.
The Lions are playing here next season while I'm stationed here, which tells you he's in the military. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your bravery. Sir. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do what we love to do.
Don Kishon.
He says maybe it'll be against the Cardinals. Would you want it to be against the Cardinals? I wonder.
So the Lions open?
Yeah, the Lions in Germany. I don't know when that is. Here's their schedule. I believe it's against Atlanta. At Atlanta, they're against.
That's probably who it is.
Yeah. You think it's against Atlanta? Okay.
Atlanta goes over there.
They got Atlanta, Buffalo, Carolina, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, New Orleans, Tampa, New England, the Jets, Miami, Minnesota, Arizona, Tennessee, New York. I don't know.
Jets, Falcons, one of those two.
I don't know if it's a home. They lose a home game, or would this be a road game?
Well, they won't be here. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, would it be considered such? Right.
Look at the schedule.
If it were Jacksonville, if Jacksonville were on their schedule, I would assume they're playing Jacksonville there, since Jacksonville should own property there.
That's what I was listening for. But I know the Jets have gone a couple times. Miami goes as well. Whoever it is going to be, it's going to be a team like that. Like that, it should be a win. Well, I guess it's the Lions. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who they're going to play, but I hope for your sake, it's a good team and it's a good game for you, and I hope you get a chance to go. Kool-Aid, you want to feed us some more super chats, please?
Oh, yeah, definitely want to feed you guys some more super chats. Let me tell the good people as well about the massage chair house, too.
Okay.
And then we'll get into those.
I will say this. We'll take you trying to figure that out, Kool-Aid. I will say this. Yesterday definitely was very, very, very underwhelming, considering how many names of note were out there, or how many people that you'd probably already done. Man, if this guy is this, well, this is what we're going to expect. If this guy, I had done that with probably like 5-6 guys in terms of taking the offensive coordinator position where like I'm already looking like, okay, if he comes here, this is what he can bring. If he comes here. So the name, when it comes up, I know a lot of football names too. I heard that name and said, huh?
Well,
so the shock value was definitely there.
Well, not to mention the fact that there are still names in the NFL playoff tournament that are appealing too. Are they not?
Guy is, man, so.
Yeah, I know who your guy is, and he's still available, or he's still out there, I should say, because he's a guy who is helping his team get to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let me tell the good people about Massage Chair. We're going to take a quick one, and we'll be right back to get to those Super Chats. But if you're looking to take relaxation to the next level, it's only Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, featuring top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. This is your destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. All right, look, experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on your screen. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Quick.
It's going to be quick. Oh.
Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Just for clarification, let's give you the 9 names real quick. Dave Burkett put this on the free press, so I want to give him credit. Here's who Detroit had in to interview for offensive coordinator. Mike McDaniel, Dolphins. Mike Kafka, Giants. Arthur Smith, Steelers. Jake Peets, Seattle, passing game coordinator. Zach Robinson, Atlanta. Baltimore quarterback coach T. Martin. Cleveland OC Tommy Reese. And David Shaw, the Lions passing coordinator, who's also interviewed in Tampa. That according to Dave Burkett, and they decided on Drew Petzing. So appreciate Dave with his thorough reporting as always in the Detroit Free Press. All right, go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Guys for supporting today. If you didn't get the opportunity to, go ahead and smash that like button. We got some super chats to clean up here, man. So shout out to Dante151 who says, with the $4.99 super chat, the one player I wish that worked in Detroit is Brandon Knight. Knight only played 9 games with the Pistons in his final season.
I remember that. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think he was a good player, don't you?
He was a good player, and I think, but what everybody's always going to remember is the DeAndre Jordan dunk. I, to this day, still applaud him for jumping, but I also make sure people know, make the right business decision too. So
he was drafted by the Pistons drafted him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was tough, man.
Where'd he play? Was it Kentucky or Memphis? It's a blue and white team. Kentucky?
Yep. Hey, Braxton Bailey with a $10 super chat. If I was a star player for the Lions and the upper management kept making the decisions they have, I'd start shopping around. He says, don't be surprised come free agent time. Same thing would happen in any job.
I don't disagree.
I would have to get to know this coach first. I wouldn't be too drastic. I know you've said that already, but I would be careful on being too drastic. If this guy, I want his philosophy. If I'm a player, for sure, and I would like to talk to him as soon as possible. You know, how do you envision me working in your offense? What does this offense need? What are some? Can you get me the playbook as soon as possible? And if I'm him, I'm coming to Detroit and I'm asking, what are you going to do about your offensive line? That's one of the things I would want to know.
Best thing for a player is that we live in a world where it's not like back in the day where if you're trying to track somebody down, you really have to actively track somebody down. Man, if I'm Amon-Ra Brown, I can just tap online real quick. Yo, Wilson.
Yeah.
I can go to his DMs, hit up Michael Wilson. Yo, what's this coach about? Trey McBride from Sam Laporte. Hey, what's going on? I don't know if you know. Pleasure to meet you. Just want to get some information. What type of guy is he? What am I getting in Petzing? You can have those conversations. So they're doing that now. I guarantee you that. And based on their energy, the next time we see these guys speak or what we see on social media, it might be a representation of conversations had.
Did you do that before you went to the Jets? You reach out to guys? Okay.
Well, luckily, like my best friend in the league actually at the time played for the Jets. So it was like, as soon as I got the call, I said, hey, you playing for the Jets? I called him instantly. I was like, what? Okay, bet. So I had friends there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, more. Kool-Aid. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, yeah, man. Shout out to the people, man. I'm going to continue to because the super chats have been epic this week, man. But my Michigan Go Blue, $4.99, he says, appreciate all the time that y'all spend with this new show each week. And we appreciate you guys being here.
We do. For sure. We definitely got to tap in some more about basketball tomorrow.
Definitely.
College basketball. Get you guys
Conversation.
know. Get you a little combo
Yeah.
here and there. Who's winning tonight, man?
Michigan's going to win, and Michigan State's going to win too, and all is right as the build-up continues for
the rubber match would be in the Final Four.
or in the Big Ten tournament. I don't know.
I will save it, man, for the tournament.
Save it for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they win one.
Two really good teams. Really excited for it. Yeah. All right, go ahead, bud. Keep going.
Oh yeah, definitely. We also have Dana sent in a $4.99 super chat.
Thanks,
He
Dana.
says the right fit BS on McDaniel is like a man calling a girl ugly after she rejected him.
Oh, they think Mike McDaniel's the one who turned his back on the Lions. instead of the other way around.
I mean, yeah, that's the other side of the coin.
I suppose it's possible. Haven't heard that yet. I still think Mike McDaniel's going to be a head coach. I think somebody's going to give him a chance. So I think if somebody's giving Kevin Stefanski a chance, I'm guessing somebody's going to give Mike McDaniel a chance.
I just wonder what the conversation was in those meetings as it relates to Dan Campbell, because even though I know Dan Campbell needs to just be the head coach and allow offensive coordinator to do his job, Dan seemed like he enjoyed being a coordinator too. Like he enjoyed controlling a little bit of that. So how much comfortability was he gonna have in like, hey McDaniels, this is your show, you come in, you run the show?
Yeah.
Or is it like, hey Petzing, look, like this is your thing, but if I see something, I'm gonna hit you on that headphone, or allow me some wiggle room. So I just wonder what's that like.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, how many more we got?
Oh, we got about 5 more.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll, baby.
All right,
Roll.
but roll.
Not roll tide, just roll super chats.
Michael Ware with the $2 super chat says the Lions ruined Harrington the exact same way.
Agreed.
Michael Ware with another one. He says, can we please relax and give the guy a chance? He was one also yesterday that was a little more, I don't want to say positive, but understanding of this hire.
I would agree with that. And I think those are good words to live by. I disagree on the Joey Harrington thing. I don't think they ruined Joey Harrington. I think Joey Harrington was just a bad quarterback. From my time covering him.
Partney with the 499 super chat says, Liv is Saudi backed, but PIF. But I'll get you guys hooked up at the UAE golf courses when we're talking
Amen
about
to that.
Dubai.
Thank you.
So
That would be fantastic.
Good looking out, LeBarton.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate that.
Got a few more here.
That was worth it.
Hey, I see Ethan in the chat, $5 super chat says, something that surprised me with the hire is that I didn't see the team mention that interview anywhere compared to all the others. Similar to what you guys have been saying. Like, I didn't.
That should be a
know this
compliment
guy
to
was
the
a guy.
team that they could keep it that close to the vest, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but they do that a lot, and they get it wrong a lot. So I don't know how much that is. But to that point, though, they do a lot of misdirection. So it doesn't surprise me that we didn't hear anything about it because it's not what the Lions did.
Yeah. As I've said before, I don't need to know everything. I don't deserve to know everything. But that's they definitely kept that quiet.
And we'll go through these last 3 real quick. Michael Wary sent in another 2 super chats, $5 and a $2 for all you that think you know football. That's a catch all day, every day. And then Michael Wary, $2 super chat. We've had the best 5 years since 57. Chill out. So he's still on the positive train. And then LeBartney rounds off with another super chat, $4.99. He says, oh, I'm taking a family to Germany game. Shout out to the German sports app. It lets me watch Lions love after having to subscribe to the NFL Network. So he's going to be going to the Lions game in Germany.
I'd love to hear from him and how he
We need the
experienced
content.
it. And yeah, I'd love it. I mean, send us something, put it, in a video when you do go, and we'll make sure we put it on because we'd love to see it. I think it'd be fantastic.
We should start doing videos of the day, like the chat sending.
That would be good.
Chat sending videos, or like we'll come up with a way to make this happen. Like if you win something, you can send a video in, or whoever. We'll get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, there's a good song from Linkin Park called "Shadow of the Day." How about video of the day from the Braylon Edwards show? That would be fantastic. I would love to see that.
I like that.
Put out a Linkin Park. Okay,
Yeah, just as we're getting out of here.
Rest
Thanks for
in
coming
peace,
back, man.
Chester.
I'm glad we didn't scare you off, and I'm so glad you're back here. And we're hoping you'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be talking more football, basketball, little Red Wings too, because of the trade scenarios that are being mentioned out there. Either way, 2 o'clock right here on Woodward Sports. Don't forget the heavyweights at 5 o'clock tonight.
Go Blue!
Go Blue! Shout out to the Heavies.
Looking for your daily sports fix, look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.